Welcome back to another episode of Emotional Nightmares. My name is Tyler, and on today's episode, I got a special guest with us. He's going to go ahead and introduce himself and kind of share with you his recovery journey, how he found recovery. So, with that, go ahead and introduce yourself.
Yeah, man, appreciate you, brother. My name is Blair, Mr. No Gimmick Phillips, and yeah, here we are. We out here. What do you want me to say? What was the question there?
All right, we'll go from the beginning, right? So we're introducing ourselves, right? So so we're gonna go with the addiction, right? So first of all, why are we going with Mr. No Gimmicks?
Oh man,
because you're a fighter, right?
Oh man, Mr. No Gimmick goes way back. Actually, Mr. No Gimmick is a storyteller. Yeah. Yep.
That's how you came up with the name?
Well, every storyteller needs a good name, right? So
Okay.
Mr. No Gimmick is the man,
All right.
the myth.
What story are you trying to tell?
Oh, I got a lot of stories. One time I was in third grade, and a bunch of kids sitting in the classroom, and this guy came in, and he had like a cane and this old hat, and he had a backpack on. He looked like a hiker, right? And he just seemed so cool to a bunch of third graders. And he sat down. He started pulling things out of his bag. He pulled out like a feather and like a turtle shell, and and like a shark tooth. And he would tell stories about this one time he was over in Africa, and he's seen this lion or whatever. He just had all these cool stories, and it was just so enticing. And it was like, wow, that guy is so cool. And I just remember thinking, like, when I grow up, I want to live a life that's so crazy that I could have stories to tell people.
Carrying them around in a book bag.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah, exactly.
I feel it.
Life went on, and developed some post-traumatic stress, and needed to create an alter ego for myself. And Mr. No Gimmick, he became a part of my identity because I wanted to forget who Blair was.
Okay. We'll go into the fighting here in a minute and go into the whole no gimmick thing, right? Mm-hmm. So, drug addiction, right?
Yeah.
So, take me to the beginning, man. Where to start?
Man, 31 years ago. I believe what I've learned about myself is I was born an addict. My first time not wanting to accept reality for what it was and needing an escape, I was addicted to fantasy. I remember I used to have all these action figure toys, and I'd go play in my bedroom for hours and hours and hours, and I'd get caught up in the figment of my own imagination, and with these action figures, and I'd get so involved in their identities, and because I didn't want to think about who I was, and I wanted to escape my life, so that sounds a lot like drugs.
Yeah.
And then later on came, I think, between the ages of like 6 and 12, I played with the toys, And then when I was between 13 and 15, I got addicted to eating pizza and food.
Food is everybody's main addiction to start with.
That's a fact.
Right?
Yeah. And nobody feels sad eating pizza. You know what I'm saying? Like,
no,
that'll cure all my problems.
I mean, after at the end of the pizza, then you're like, oh man, what'd I do?
Just like smoking crack. You know what I'm saying? What's the difference? You ever order a prostitute and feel great about yourself? Like, damn, but we ain't talking about it during the process.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yep. So that's what I found in my recovery process is I had to look back at that like, dang, I was born an addict. I've been an addict. It was like some people don't get that gene. Some people aren't addicts, and I think it's so strange. How can you drink one drink at dinner time and like eat dinner and go home and chill? Say, where'd I do that at?
I've never known how to do that.
I can't do that.
Clearly, we wouldn't have a platform if we knew how to do that. I never would have thought about even creating this podcast if we knew how to do that.
Yeah.
Right? My career would probably be a lot different.
Yeah.
So, all right. So interesting. So when you found drugs, you found people.
Oh, yeah.
To replace the action figures.
Well, I started doing drugs because I wanted to kill myself.
Okay.
You know, I was 15 the first time I tried to die, and I was just so sad and so empty, and I was at the bitter end of my life at the age of 15 that I didn't know what else to do, and I couldn't die.
What was going on in your 15-year-old head that was saying death looks better than continuing?
I had head lice, my clothes stunk, I didn't brush my teeth ever, I hated taking a shower, I didn't have friends at school, and when I did go to school, they'd make fun of me. My mom was smoking crack. I didn't know who my dad was, and I was living in a trailer that was just condemned and disgusting. Life sucked. My older brother was shooting heroin somewhere. I had a cousin that was just, my grandma and I used to sit around listening to the scanner to see who was getting beat the fuck up that day, or laying in a ditch left for dead, or it's like every day on the scanner, either my mom or my brother or my cousin or my uncle or somebody in my family was getting hauled off to jail, or somebody was overdosing, or something was going on down at the crack house, because my mom was running amok down on South Street in Warren, PA, like crack dealers living in the basement, gunshots, and my 4-year-old little brother was living throughout all that, and here I am 13 to 15 years old, I just want my mom to come over on Thanksgiving.
Right.
You know what I mean? She'd call me, yeah, I'm on my way. She never even left the house. You know what I mean? Or why isn't there any presents underneath the tree for Christmas? Did the Grinch steal them, or was it my crack-headed mom?
Right.
You know what I mean? I know my grandma gets a loan every year for Christmas, but Mom stole it. You know what I mean? Where's all the presents? Every year there's always presents.
Okay. So, in a sense, I would say you were being bullied. Your life's just awful.
Terrible.
You're feeling that abandonment, feeling that rejection, feeling that I'm worthless feeling.
Mm-hmm.
So, death looks like the best out.
Yeah.
You would say.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So, what stopped it?
Fentanyl.
Okay. So fentanyl saved your life.
Yep.
We don't hear that often.
I say that. Drugs saved my life. Free
Okay.
of fentanyl off the tinfoil saved my life.
Okay.
And the first time my older brother just got out of juvenile detention center, and he moved in with my grandma. And about a week after he got out, he was like, yo, Blair, you want to get high? And he thought I was going to get mad at him because up to this point I was straight edge. Because
Okay.
see, my friends started smoking cigarettes. My friends started smoking weed and shit in school. And I hated all of them because they thought they was being cool by doing these drugs, right? But here I was at home, and drugs was ruining my life.
Right.
I knew what drugs was hitting for. Y'all out here trying to do this shit be cool, but that shit ain't cool to me. So that's I was straight edge up until I was 15. I was a late bloomer. My friends was already running heroin in their arm at 12.
Right.
You know what I mean? That's just how it was where I'm from, And so my brother thought I was going to be mad at him. He was like, yo, let's go get it in. And this was the day after I tried to kill myself, and I was like, you know what, man, matter of fact, let's get it. And we went and hopped on the talk bus, went into town, and got us some fentanyl. And I remember I took one hit, and I would huff that shit fast, right? And my brother was like, yo, man, you got to slow down. That shit'll kill you. Well, the second hit, I went harder because I wanted it to kill me.
So then, in a sense, then it's safe to say that realistically, you found drugs because it was, I'm trying to die anyway.
Yeah.
And this is a quick route. And,
Yep.
Already seeing what it was doing for you at home.
Yeah.
Right?
I died a long time ago.
Yeah, so I would say that's interesting, right? Because that's talking about the core root of our addiction, right? It's not the drugs and the alcohol; they're not the problem. The core root of the addiction is we physically and mentally die, emotionally, mentally, spiritually, all the way around, right? So what you're describing is about 15 is when you just died on the inside, right? So you were already dead. So you
Blair died, and that's when Epic came to be. So that's my other ego.
Right. So tell me about that. I mean,
Yeah,
from there, so
so
you
from
started
there-
using, right?
So from there, like you had mentioned, where it kind of started all this was the friends. I developed a whole nother crew of people. I got a bunch of people that I do drugs with. They do drugs with me. I do drugs with them. And then I used to use my aggression and my violence. And I kind of went on a power trip. I became addicted to people fearing me. So then I just went on a rampage. I would just like steal shit from people. I'd fucking rip your necklace off your neck. You know what I mean?
Right.
I was like Debo. And I love that shit. You know what I'm saying? Because like you ain't gonna tell me otherwise. I'm gonna
Right.
punch you in the mouth. And then I used to go to school and just fight. I just wanted to get into fights because there
Because
was
hurt people.
Oh yeah,
Right?
absolutely, yeah.
Like really break it down is like
Oh, yeah.
you're how old are you at this time? 15, 16?
Yeah.
Right? So like you're still like a hurt 7-year-old child on the inside though.
Yeah.
Right? So like hurt people.
Yep.
So I mean that really describes what you're doing.
Yeah, and then I got locked up. So you take a little kid from Warren, Pennsylvania, and send him into a lockup juvenile detention center with a bunch of inner city kids from Pittsburgh that
Yeah.
have never been off the block, and all they know is gang life, right? And then you introduce me to all that, and then you send me back to Warren, where I'm from. I was a gangster. You know what I'm saying? Like real quick. And I died a long time ago, so I didn't give a fuck. I wanted you to kill me.
Right.
You know what I mean? I was looking for somebody to, you know what I'm saying? Like, let's go. I remember the first time a dude put a gun to my head. Please, come on, motherfucker. And he was shook. He didn't know what to do because he wasn't ready to pull the trigger.
Right.
And he didn't think I was going to respond that way.
Because you were already dead on the
yeah.
inside, right?
Yeah.
So drugs and alcohol really are just the means to kind of feel alive.
Yeah.
In a
Feelings
sense,
at
right?
all. Yeah.
And like, and that's the thing too. Like we talk about with an addiction is like, like a lot of our viewers, and like I've had people reach out and stuff, and
Sure.
people are always like, well, why don't they just stop with all this shit? And I'm like, God, that just sounds like so simple. Why did we never think of this? Just stop. Like yeah, Nancy Reagan made us say no a long time ago, right? But at the end of the day, right, like those feelings that you're describing, right?
Yeah.
I'm dead on the inside. I don't want to live. Life is just chaotic, and we don't know any other option.
Yeah.
So drugs and alcohol, they do a couple things. They either A, make you feel like you're alive, or they take away the emotions so that you can feel like you're alive, right?
Well, we all want to feel safe, secure, loved, and connected.
Sure. Nobody better than a crack dealer.
Yeah. I want to accept myself. And I want to feel like y'all accept me too.
Yeah.
So that's, and a lot of it, if I would have had, I have the heart of a warrior, and the heart of a champion. I do. The way that I push myself in the gym, athletically, if I would have had a little bit of guidance at a young age, oh my God, I couldn't imagine where I would actually be if I had a mentor at a young age to say, hey man, like, let's try things a little bit different. Matter of fact, my higher power now in recovery is an imaginary friend in my head that I made up that I called my dad. Growing up, I didn't have a dad, so I created this imaginary friend inside of my head that would like discipline me and encourage me and teach me things. My dad taught me how to fish. My dad taught me how to whittle a stick. My dad taught me how to fix the lawnmower that was broken. An imaginary friend in my head.
Right.
So like I made all this stuff up. It was a power greater than myself the whole time. He's been there the whole time, And so that's what, like, I turned to the streets. You know what I mean? Like I said, my mom had the crack dealers living in the basement. Now that I'm doing drugs, now I'm hanging out at mom's house a little bit more, and I'm starting to learn all this stuff. I'm starting to learn how to hustle, how to sell drugs, how to be a gangster, how to have more power, how to have more respect, and just imagine if I could have been like a captain of a football team or something, something like actually beneficial. What if I would have been in school and working on my academics, and I actually had somebody to push me You know what I mean?
Circumstances.
I became a bad motherfucker in them. You know what I'm saying? Like, I
Yeah,
did.
you were like Tommy from Power.
Yeah. Yeah. Little bit, you know? And,
yeah. So,
yeah.
all right, man. So we get the...
I just didn't have the sense of direction. You know, I had no direction.
Right.
Yeah.
So what gave you that, right? Because at some point, right? So we're going to jump ahead a lot, right?
Yeah.
So at some point, though, there was that little voice in your head
Yep.
that said, I got to fucking do different. Right?
Let me tell you about that.
Yeah, what made you do different?
I'm in prison, right? And I'm hanging out with the lifers, doing gang shit, right? And with some other truckers that ain't never getting out. And when they kill somebody, they just go to the hole for 2 years.
Right.
And they let them right back on the block, you know? And I'm like, damn, this is it. This is life. This is like... And they're like, are you fucking kidding me, kid? Like, you're getting out. Like, you're young. You're smart. You're a privileged white motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? Like, get out there and do something with your life. Go to college. Get a job. What are you doing? You're in here chasing this facade for nothing? Look around. We ain't ever getting out. You can. And I'm like, nah, homie. Like, I don't think you understand where I come from. Like, people like me, we don't do shit out there. Like, this is what I'm destined to be. I'm destined to be a fucking gangster. And they're like, nah, man. Like, you got the game twisted, kid. Somebody lied to you. You know, I'm like, what? You mean I can, like, get a job? I can, like, be one of them other truckers to go to Red Lobster? You know, I can get a credit card? I can have nice shoes? You mean to tell me I can get a job, like, go to Disneyland? I can get married? I can have a pretty girlfriend? Bro, you didn't know. You know what I'm saying? Like, lifers in prison teaching me. Pull me down with some shit, right? I'm in here
That's where the best lessons come from.
Bro, I'm in here smoking douche, dropping Suboxone, trying to stab a motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? And, bro, I remember I was sitting on the edge of my bed. I had 8 months to get out on a 3-year bid. And I'm crying. Because I'm trying to get this fucking piece of Suboxone on my eyeball so I can get high. But you ever try to put a piece of Suboxone in your eyeball while you're crying? It don't go in. Using it against your will. Excited to get out of prison. For what? So I can go get it the fuck in out on the outside. But when I come back, I'm going to end up... You know, I'm already a refill. You know, I already maxed out all my felonies. Aggravated assault. You know. I get out, and then I got to come back, finish that number, just to roll over to the next number. I might as well just max out. What am I even doing? Like, why am I even excited to get out? I'm going to be right back. And it's like, this is my life. I'm looking at my future in its face. Or I can find a better way to live. And it was in that moment I said, I'm done. I didn't get not one little buzz from that piece of Suboxone I was trying to put in my eyeball, and I hit the yard and I started working out.
So you got out, right?
August 20th of 2017.
So when you walked out those doors, and you've been sober since, right?
Yep.
All right, so when you walked out that gate, so boom, touchdown, we're on the street.
I had one voice in my head, and it was Flacco's. And he said, if you want something in this world, all you got to do is work for it. And nothing comes easy.
And what you wanted was different.
And what I wanted was different.
Okay.
And he said, try it. Just give it a try, man. If it don't work out, come back and see me.
Those are the most powerful words,
Oh.
right? Like I say that to my clients all the time, where I'm just constantly like, listen, I'll tell you what, give me 18 months. Go try this. If it doesn't work,
steps, you know what I'm saying? Like, whatever.
You're more than welcome to go back to where you came from. Nobody's going to care, right?
Right.
So, so when you got out, where'd you go? You went to Meadville?
I paroled to my dad's house, which was a mistake.
Where was that?
I didn't want to go to a halfway house. It was in Meadville.
Okay.
I'm not from Meadville.
So when you ended up in Meadville, right? How did you find recovery?
So I actually ended up in Meadville in 2011 when I got out of Abraxas, which is a juvenile detention center. Yeah. I went to live with my dad.
A1? Were you at A1?
A2.
I was A1.
Yeah. Yeah. Yep. So, like 10 years prior, right, I paroled out, and I was walking there in the middle of Meadville. There's the Diamond Park, and there was a man sitting on a bench playing a guitar, and he invited me to an NA meeting when I was 17, and I went, whatever. Didn't really last long. I was 17, you know. Fast forward, 2017, I got out, paroled to my dad's house, and I was walking through the Diamond Park, and there was a man sitting on a bench playing a guitar. Same bench, same
Same
guitar,
guy?
same guy. Guess what? It was a Wednesday night. It was the same meeting. I went. I've been going back ever since.
Nice.
Yep.
So,
But I tell you what, I want to share this, though, because I got out of prison on a Sunday with, I don't know, I couldn't tell you how many felonies. I know I'm a refill. I got a lot of aggravated felonies, right? Monday was my first day of like, it's 6 a.m., what am I going to do? You know what I mean? I had a fork in the road. I went down to the food stamp office, got my food stamps. I went over to the YMCA and told them I really wanted to work out. I just got out of prison. I ain't got no money. They gave me a scholarship, like a 30-day scholarship. They said, go work out, kid.
nice.
Right. So then I went next door to the temp agency, Miller Brothers Staffing, and they said, hey, man, you can start work tomorrow at the steel mill as long as you have a pair of steel-toe boots. I was like, man, I ain't got no boots. They said, that's okay. There's a program. Thank God for the programs these days, man. Thank God for these programs, right?
There's so many.
Oh, my God. So helpful, too. I went down to the Center for Family Services. They said, here's a buck ticket and a coupon for $50. Go up to Walmart and get yourself some steel-toe boots. So I started work Tuesday. Got out of prison on a Sunday. Got a full-time job, started Tuesday. And it was 3 miles away from my house. And I had to run. And I had to be there at 5 a.m.
Well, you didn't have to run, but you.
Well, I could have walked.
Yeah,
I had to
you
be
was
there at 5 a.m. It was 3 miles. You know what I mean?
Right.
I put my
Get my workout in.
I put my steel-toe boots around my neck, and I had my prison feelers on, and I ran to that steel mill, worked 10 hours, and on my way home, I went home and did it again the next day. And then it was like 2 weeks I was out of prison, and my parole officer was like, you need to get to some meetings, boy. And that was like, I ran into that guy at that park bench, and Tom K from Meadville, shout out. And I started going to meetings. And I started going to meetings. I was like, man, these mother truckers are weird, man. And not only that, but like I didn't know how to read. I knew how to read like a little bit, but I didn't know how to read. So like they'd give me these readings, and I didn't know how to read them. It was extremely uncomfortable. But I knew that I got a gift of desperation. I was so desperate for a better way of life. I'd be up in those meetings sharing some ratchet ass shit, like not knowing up from down, who's who, what's what, just in there sharing some shit. Yo, mother trucker, I just got out of prison. You know what I'm saying? Like, I got a job. I'm trying to do some shit, And every day I'd go home, my dad would just be drunk. You know what I mean? And like fighting with his old lady, kicking her out. He'd have a gun in his mouth, like talking about like some crazy shit. And I'm like, man, I got to be up at 3 a.m. Like,
when you did get out, you went back to a situation where somebody was using.
Yeah.
And you stayed clean during that, right?
Yeah.
So that's very crucial, right? Because like I get a lot of people on a day-to-day that'll tell me like, yeah, but I can't stay clean in the same neighborhood I come from. I'm like, you're right, because you already put it in your head that you can't, right? Because like I'm a firm believer, me personally, right, is that we speak our reality is what we speak into existence, right?
Oh, facts.
So and I always shared like there's 20 million stories of people just like yourself that are saying I was put in a situation when I wanted to stay clean. The people around me weren't staying clean, but I managed to get through it clean and get the fuck out. Right? So how did you do that?
Yeah, let's dissect that a little bit, man. I'm glad you pointed that out because I always just kind of skim past that. But it's so
huge. It's huge.
It's the first 2 weeks of recovery.
It's huge.
Yeah, and so I was living with my dad. He had a girlfriend with 2 kids. And he'd go to work, but as soon as he'd come home, he'd drink 6 beers before he stood up. You know what I mean? And I'd come home, and he would just be a wreck. And I just knew like I knew I had to get out of there, but I was grateful that he let me stay there because I was able to live there. It was better than going to the CC Center up in Erie. Or like a halfway house or some shit, and I definitely didn't want to go back.
CC Center.
Yeah,
I got a lot of friends that are up there, and like, it's a shame. It's a shame though, because like they all go up there, and they're probably watching this now. They'll message me. Every one of them has called me afterwards and like, bro, I'm surrounded by fucking pedophiles. You gotta get me out of here. Yeah, you gotta get me out of here. And I'm like, I'll see what I can do. Right, and it's every single person. Like, I don't know what they got going on at the CC Center, but it just must be pedophile heaven up there. Those fuckers are everywhere. Right, but side note,
so
ADHD moment.
Yeah, no, that's all good. Yeah, man. So there I was, and I just wanted a better way of life, man. I just wanted it, man. I wanted it so bad, and I remember manifesting. I was like, man, I just want an apartment, and I want a nice apartment. Like, I don't want to move out of here and like just move into some divey place. You know what I'm saying? Like, I want like something. I want nice things, man. Like, come on, God, like. Haven't I given you enough? You know what I'm saying? Like, hasn't my life been hell enough? Like, I'm trying here, man. And all I kept hearing was Flacco's voice. You can have anything you want as long as you're willing to work for it. And I remember running 3 miles every day to the steel mill, working a 10-hour shift at the steel mill, running. And I'd walk home, or I'd get a ride home, and I'd get home. And on my way home, I would have this fork in the road, and it was either, I'm going to go get it in today, or I'm going to go home, go to the gym, and then go to the NA meeting. And every day was that little fork in the road where it was like, fuck, man, I'm going to go get it in. And it was like, no, we're going to go home, take a shower, go to the gym, go to the meeting. We're going to do it again tomorrow. And it was just like, I had to stick to it. And I'd go home, my dad, you know what I'm saying? Like, it wasn't all bad. Like, I'm not trying to bash my dad if he does listen to this, you know what I'm saying? Because, like, he did help me a lot. But it was like, that was my perspective of the situation, getting fresh out of prison, you know what I mean? It was tough.
It's a tough situation to be in.
And so... See, and man, I was just praying for, like, I knew I had to get out of there, and I knew I had to do something, and I didn't know what I was going to do. And this small, subtle voice, right, come in and said, well, why don't you start filling out some applications for apartments for rent? Well, no, as a matter of fact, I'd go to NA meetings, and I'm like, I need to get an apartment. Because I'm going to meetings, and I'm sharing about this. Right. I'm going to meetings, and I'm sharing about how, like, I got to go home to this situation. And they're like, bro, why don't you get your own apartment? I'm like, well, shit, why didn't I think of that? You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know.
Great advice. I don't know what I thought I was thinking.
Usually I just go back to jail. Like, what do you mean an apartment? Like, you get booked? You know? And I'm like, well, shit, that's a great idea, you know? And, of course, I'm working at a temp agency that's still making $10 an hour. Like, I'm making $280 a week. You know what I mean? Like, you're talking about getting an apartment, you know? And I need a new pair of Nikes and a chain. Right?
Yeah, you just got sober. That's when you just get sober, you need 10 new pair of Jordans.
Yeah, so I just started looking for rent signs, man, like calling them, and they're like, no, I got all these no's, right? And I'm going to look at these apartments, and I'm like, man, I'm glad you told me no, because I don't want to live here anyway. This place is trash, you know? And eventually, like, I remember just laying there. I just remember this was so crucial, because I remember thinking, like, I wanted an upstairs, downstairs apartment, and I wanted it to be nice and new and clean, and I wanted it to be 2 bedrooms. Sure as shit, man. I was walking home from work one day, and I seen a for rent sign, and I was stopping, and I pulled out my Obama phone, because that's all I had, right? And I started to call this number, and this lady come running out. She says, hey, are you here to look at this apartment? And I'm like, yeah, matter of fact, I would. She's like, well, hey, come on in. Don't mind the mess. We're just finishing repainting. But you're more than happy to come look at it. It should be done next week. I walk in, brand new carpet, brand new paint. They show me through the kitchen, brand new flooring, cabinets, counter. Everything was brand new in this apartment. I'm like, wow, this is immaculate. Chandelier. They brought me upstairs because it was an upstairs, downstairs. I'm like, wow, stairs, you know? And 2-bedroom. The main bedroom was huge, raised ceilings, brand new bathroom, brand new bathtub. I said, ma'am, I'm gonna be straight up with you. I just got out of prison 2 weeks ago. I'm working down here at Tapco. I'm making $10 an hour, $280 a week. I was like, I don't think I can afford this. She was like, no, that's okay. Like, wow, we love that story. We want to be able to help you, and like, you know, let's put something together. And I'm like, wow. She was like, she didn't tell me no pricing of what they were asking for or nothing. She just said, on your next check, just give us some money so you know you're serious, and we'll hold it for you. So I went home, talked to my dad. He was like, it's probably going to be like, $525 or whatever. And so we figured like $800 a month, which would be $200 a week. I only made $280, So I'm like, man, I could do this. I got $200 a week, like whatever. I'll just live on $80 a week, whatever, And that Friday, it was my first check from that steel mill. I gave her $200. She handed me a key. And I was like, well, what about the security deposit? She was like, just give us an extra $75. She's like, matter of fact, take all the garbage cans out, and in the wintertime, you can shovel the sidewalks. Give us $425 a month, plus all the utilities. And I'm like, wow, I got my own apartment. Bro,
shout out to those people, right?
Bro, shout out, yeah.
Because you don't hear that from landlords too often, like in my area, right?
Yeah, Ralph and Cheryl Copeland.
Good for them, right? They're more good people. Because around here, we don't have that, right? Our landlords around here, crooked as fuck. We have one guy that's just single-handedly crazy, like upping the price of rent, right?
And he owns all the houses.
All of them, right? And like it's insane, right?
Yeah.
And every once in a while, there's a good landlord that comes through that's like, let me help you, like, you know. But I always think it's so important to hear those kind of stories where somebody does help, because none of us do shit alone, right? Like, we've never done anything in your life where
my God, yeah.
you hear it all the time. People will always be, I did all this on my own. No, you didn't.
No,
like, there was somebody out there that looked out for you, right?
Yeah.
And like, the world needs more people like that, that's willing to say, yes, I understand you just got out of prison, but Jesus Christ, like, you're running the work 3 miles, right? You're putting in the effort.
Yeah.
Let me take the chance, and like, worst case scenario, I have to rent it out to somebody else, but let me take the opportunity to try to help you, right?
Yeah.
So shout out to those people, man. Them are some good ass people, right there.
Man. Facts.
You know.
Yeah. So I remember I moved into that apartment with my record box from the DOC with my number on it.
Yeah.
And all I had in it was my rap sheet and my Fila State shoes and that pair of steel toe boots. And that was it. Like, my dad let me, like, I didn't have a bed, I didn't have a couch, a mattress, a fork, nothing.
Happy as shit there. You
Happy
got
as
them
shit.
stairs.
Matter of fact, I had to go down to the CVS and buy an alarm clock to wake up to work the next day. And I had a radio on it, and I was sitting there. And I remember the two very specific songs that played on that radio, sitting there just happy as shit, reading the newspaper from the old tenant that was left in the mailbox. And I remember just sitting there, just reading that. And then I found a Domino's coupon. And I was like, oh my God, I'm gonna go get me a Domino's pizza. I went over to the neighbors, asked to use their phone, called and ordered a Domino's pizza. They delivered it. I'm sitting there eating a pizza in my apartment, empty, just listening to this radio, happy as shit. Ate that pizza, passed out, laying right there on that floor, and woke up 3 a.m. the next day and went to work. Nice. Came home that next day. I went to the meeting. I ain't got a couch. Guess what? I left that meeting with a couch. Next day. Now I got a couch to sleep on. You know what I mean? Next day I'm at the meeting and I'm sharing how I don't have a TV. Guess what? Now I got a DVD and DVD player. This was before Netflix, or I knew what Netflix was. I didn't know what none of that was. You know, I was happy I had a DVD player. I was going down to the Family Video and renting DVDs, and then I remember getting greedy. I went to the meeting. I was like, you know, I need a bigger boom box because I just got this little radio. Somebody gave me a bigger boom box. And then I remember going to the meeting talking about how I don't have no shoes. I just got the state shoes. And somebody gave me like a nice pair of old DCs they had. And I just kept going to these meetings, man. And then like I didn't have a car, you know, so like I'd always be calling homies for rides to the meetings. And like people my age was showing up. This was so pivotal for me too, because like it was the way that I got clean. There was just 3 dudes, man, that were young and hip and cool and clean. Yeah. And that was so attractive to me. And I was like, man, like I could do this. Like them homies can do it. They're picking me up in these cars. They got 12s in the trunk. And we listened to the music.
That's what got me. Like,
it was a party, bro.
When I first got sober, my first sponsor at the time, it
felt illegal.
Yeah, he showed up. It was, right? It was damn near illegal. Like, he showed up and his system was bumping.
Yeah.
He had the Carter, the Lil Wayne's The Carter had just came out. That's when I got sober. It was in 06.
Yeah.
And I was like, yo, I could rock with these people. You know what I mean? And like, it made me feel that way, right? Yeah. And that's why, like, it's so crucial that I hope, you know, my demographics, we do have a lot of young people who watch this.
Yeah.
And I hope that they get sober, and whether it's they go to meetings or whatever, because there's many pathways to recovery. But I want them to get sober because, man, for one, there's so much to live for, and 2, like they get like the group of people that all come together, that age bracket when you're sober, the fun you have,
it was
man.
wild.
Like it was great, you know.
Oh my god!
But,
I got clean when I was 24.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? I'm only 31.
I got sober
7
at
years
21.
Clean. Yeah,
21.
It's crazy to get clean young.
Yeah,
Because you see these
it was.
dudes 35, 40. You know what I mean? It's like, man.
But that's what got me sober.
Yeah.
Because I went to rehab, right? So I'm 21 at the time, and I'm just sitting there, and I'm like, what the fuck am I doing? Right? Why am I in this goddamn place, right? And I'm thinking to myself, I'm gonna leave, right? Yeah. And I got a homie of mine, and he went to prison. And that's kind of what pushed me into rehab. But I'm sitting there, I'm like, I'm gonna just fucking leave. And I remember looking at this old dude, and I was like, how old are you? Right? And I got to talking to him, and he was like, he was in his 50s. Mm-hmm. And that's what got me sober.
Still doing the same shit.
Right? Because I looked at him and I was like, bro, you're 50. Where are you going after this? He said, I'm going to go to, I'm hoping to get into a halfway house.
Yeah.
I was like, and then what? Are you going home? He said, I don't have a home.
Right.
And I said, man, I can't imagine being 50 and restarting life. And it was like, that was the crucial moment in my life. Because I was like, I'm only 21. I was like, fuck it. I gotta do this. I can't have another option because I ain't trying to be this guy, right? And like, and God love him, right? Because like I started talking to him more every day, and he kept telling me, "Don't be me, don't be me," and like that's what helped me. And unfortunately, you don't have old people doing that to young people anymore.
Yeah.
Like you got the old people who are like, yeah, do this because they're using them as crash dummies.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And like that's what sucks, man. I want to see more older people that are fucked up.
Yeah.
Grab the young people and be like, stop what the fuck you're doing because you're gonna be me. Because imagine that. Like even now, right? Like I'm 39. I can't imagine having to restart life.
Yeah.
I don't want to.
Oh yeah, facts. You know what I mean? We got a dude actually in our rooms right now. He's like 55, but he got clean when he was 50. And I've watched this dude just prosper.
Yeah.
And not saying like it's never too late.
No,
you know what I mean? This dude
never.
got clean when he was 50. He's now 55. Happier than he's ever been in his whole life.
Sure.
You know what I mean? We got another dude. He got clean when he was 48. He's like 60-something. Wouldn't even believe the dude's 60-something. Got like 13 years clean and living better than he's ever lived in his whole life.
Right.
You know what I mean?
I mean, recovery can start at any time, right?
Yeah, exactly.
But like, if you talk to those people, boy, I bet they wish they would have got her younger.
Right?
Oh,
yeah. They always say that, yeah.
Yeah, like the shit you can accomplish. Like, because I got sober at 21. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I was able... Like I did like a whole master's degree, right?
Yeah.
Cost me nothing in my life. Like I still got tons of youth ahead of me.
Yeah.
Right? Like when I achieved that, and it's like even like with yourself, right? Because you've achieved like your fighting career and like everything you achieved.
Yeah.
And it's now. Imagine if you were still out there running. Well, either one of us would probably still be in prison. But if we were, if we were using, I mean, that's where we'd be, right? But if we were on the streets, imagine now, right? If you was out there running and gunning, you had to go to rehab. What are you gonna do? Like you're gonna get out and you're
back
like,
out to my dad's house. Because I pulled out of my dad's house twice now. I said I will not be 35 pulling back out to my dad's house.
Amen to that. Amen to that.
Oh man.
So, yeah, man, that's a crucial thing. I wish more people would grab people and explain to them, this is really what it is.
Like you mentioned, like a lot of your viewers are younger, you know what I'm saying? Like, so a lot of younger people are like, for what, man? Like, I got time, I got years, you know what I'm saying? But like, how fun is recovery, man? Like, we do crazy stuff out here, man. Just to be able to have the extra income that we're not, spending on all this stupid stuff. Just being able to have a little bit of a peace of mind and priority and be able to have the responsibility, to be able to like manage our time. We can go on vacations, buy new things. I got a crotch rocket, I got a dirt bike, I got a car. You know what I mean? Like I have the ability to do whatever. You know what I'm saying? Like a couple months ago, I went on vacation, went over to Ocean City, booked a hotel, got a rental car. You know what I'm saying? Like just out of nowhere, was like, I think I want to go on vacation. Like, did you just hear the words that came out of my mouth? I booked a vacation and went to Ocean City in a rental car, got my own hotel. Bro, 7 years ago, I didn't know how to get my own apartment.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah. Let alone your own car.
well, my own car. You know what I'm saying? Like, all this crazy stuff that we can do.
And unfortunately nowadays, man, there isn't much time because like now, like drug. I always say this to like the younger people or people in general. Like, I don't know what drugs you're using, but that's not real.
Right.
Right. Because like, I'm from the crack era. Yeah. I know cocaine. There ain't shit you can tell me about cocaine. I know cocaine.
Right.
You are not supposed to overdose on cocaine.
No.
Like that's just not real, right? Crystal meth. You do not overdose on crystal meth.
Yeah,
and everybody's sitting around, oh, there's fentanyl. Yeah, fentanyl is not supposed to be in any of this shit. No. It's supposed to be its own thing.
Yeah.
Right? And like nowadays, like people are just dying left and right at an alarming rate. You know what I mean?
I just heard an ad on the radio today, like some little old white lady sharing on the radio about it was like an ad about like, you know, just because you're not doing hard drugs doesn't mean that there's not fentanyl in it. Just today, I was listening to this. It was just on the casual radio. I was at the gym trying to get a workout in, and they're talking about on the radio how like. We understand you kids just are trying to go to a party and do some cocaine and have fun with your friends. You're not trying to do hard drugs and die, but like there's hard drugs that are going to kill you. That fentanyl's in that cocaine that you're at that party just trying to have fun with your friends. That shit killed my brother. My brother was 19, didn't do drugs. My brother was not an addict. You know what I'm saying? Went to Clarion University for business, was in college, went to a party with some of his friends. They're all sitting around drinking wine coolers, and like they ended up doing some ecstasy. And he thought he was just taking this party drug that's going to be like, yeah, let's have a party, and didn't wake up. You know what I mean? Like, that's like my brother. You know what I'm saying? Like, that dude didn't do drugs. You know what I mean?
I mean, that's what happens, man. Yeah, unfortunately, this shit's everywhere. And that's what...
I had a cousin overdosed on meth because there was fentanyl in it.
Yeah, and it's not supposed to be there.
He was trying to do meth. It, like, died in my apartment. You know what I mean? Like, so crazy.
Oh, man. All right, so... in recovery, you found fighting as an outlet.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. We even just down to the fact
that... I don't see this championship belt that I was...
Oh!
So, what the viewer doesn't know, right, is that we tried to do this once before, and, like, I had problems because I didn't push the correct button when we recorded the first time. Right? So... but during that time, it was right before the title fight, and you had said, I'm going to come back with the championship belt. I'm going to wear it around my waist like Hulk Hogan. I don't see it.
Yeah, man.
What happened?
You live, you learn, you win, you lose. Yeah. You know, I went out there, man, I had the best fight camp leading up to that. I felt the best. I had my team with me. My diet was on point. I made 185 real easy. I never made 185 before. I usually fight at like 205. You know, I'm naturally like 220. I got all the way down to 185. I was in shape. I was ready to rock. Man, I was fighting for the title. Now, keep in mind also, like, and I'm not using this as an excuse, but this is a real thing, that I just had full ACL and fractured tibia and meniscus replacement surgery the day after Christmas last year. So 11 months. So I have full surgery, and not even, it was only like 10 months later I was fighting for a title. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's unheard of.
Yeah.
You know, so the whole time throughout surgery, I was like strict on my diet, doing my push-ups, sit-ups, crunches, and like one-legged squats, training, you know, watching countless hours and hours of study film, you know, on the computer, learning about the sport. 10 months after surgery, went out and fought for a title. It just didn't go my way.
He caught you with a right.
He caught me. I think he caught me with a left hook, actually.
Was it a left?
I think so. It was a switch. It was a switch left hook.
Yeah, it would have been a left the way I was looking at it. Yeah.
But you know, I was doing good, but I just wasn't cracking him enough. I wasn't getting his respect enough. He was listening to the punches, but after a while, he was just like, oh man, this dude's not sitting down on his punches. Boom! Yes, clean my clock. I woke up in the hospital. I have no idea. I don't know how I got there.
That happens.
Hey, live and learn.
We've all been there.
Yeah, but I will tell you this. That fight opened up a huge opportunity for me. There was a coach there from Demolition Fight Team, and his name's Gary Young, and they have a couple UFC fighters out of their gym over in Findlay, Ohio, which is kind of like by Kentucky.
You gonna go?
They opened up a bedroom for me, and they gave me an invitation to come over there and train. So December 30th, I got the U-Haul rented. I'm packing up my stuff, and I'm headed to Findlay, Ohio to live, eat, breathe, sleep, and shit this sport. So,
I mean, I believe in you. I hope to see you over in the UFC.
yeah,
I mean,
should be next 2 years. I'll be there.
I mean, you got good form.
Yeah.
Right? Like, I mean, I know watching it, like, you got good form. I mean, you might want to practice a little bit of boxing techniques. Right?
Yeah.
maybe get yourself a Philly shell in there, maybe. You know?
Yeah. Well, the thing about what you had you mentioned with the good technique. So that last fight, I think I was too focused on my technique because I'm so focused on being perfect in my technique that I forgot to have power. Like sometimes it's okay to let myself go a little bit. Like you'll never see me overextend on a punch, but sometimes it's okay to overextend on a punch. Yeah. You know what I mean? But you won't because like I'm perfect in my technique because I practice my kata and my form perfectly. You know what I mean? But like sometimes it's okay to get crazy, and I need to remember that.
I mean, anytime you step in that ring, you should be getting crazy.
Yeah. Right.
You're legally allowed to kill them.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
Just saying, you might as well.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Exactly.
So.
Yeah.
So the third time around, you'll come back with a belt.
That's right. Yeah. Yeah. Well, this will be my second time, so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We'll bring you back, and you'll have a belt the next time.
Oh yeah. Third time coming back here. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it'll be online because I'm gonna be in Kentucky, or Ohio. Yeah.
All right.
It'll be a
Well,
long ways away.
you can hold it up.
And remember, I'm not from Meadville, so I'll probably never come back to this area ever.
I don't fucking blame you. I don't blame you.
I'm not from here. I don't have no ties here. I ain't never coming back here.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm Outskis.
Do you have ties here?
She's from Warren, PA.
Perfect. I want to come back then.
Yeah.
I want to come back either.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I feel you. This is it's a trap hole.
Yeah.
It really is, man. This area.
Well, it's just bigger the fish, or the bigger the fish tank, the bigger the fish.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I've always like I don't like, the only thing I really got kicking is my grandma. You know what I mean? My grandma's 83, and she's still doing okay. I go see her as much as I can, but like other than that, I'm out. You know what I mean?
Nice.
I don't have nothing holding me down, tying me back. I got a career to chase. I'm gonna be world champion.
There you go.
That's where I'm at with it.
I'm coming to the first title fight.
Yeah, let's go. Las Vegas. Madison Square Garden.
Yeah.
Yeah, I want to fight in New York City.
That's.
Well, I fought in New York City before, but I just want to fight in Madison Square
I'm a
Garden.
diehard Knicks fan, so that's Mecca
okay.
to us.
Uh-huh.
So yeah, I would love that too.
Yeah, man.
I can skirt up there.
Uh-huh.
By then we'll be millions strong with the podcast.
Yeah, ain't no doubt. Facts.
Let's
go.
That's the way to
Yeah,
go.
man.
So.
Lost Dreams Awaken, right?
Huh?
Lost Dreams Awaken. This is the land of opportunity, man. This is America. We can be whatever we want to be.
You
just gotta
really
set out and
can.
dream.
Like I always tell people like, what's stopping you? The only thing stopping us is fear, right? And it's fear of like, what happens if I fail? And the way I look at things is like, I've never failed at anything in life. Mm-hmm. Because
it's not happening to you; it's happening for you.
Right, and not only that, like if it doesn't go the way I wanted it to go, okay. So the goal's hasn't changed. Just the direction of the goal has to change.
Yeah.
So like, all right, I fucked that up. I better go this direction now, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, that's kind of what sprung me into this, right? So like, I'm not sure where I'm going with this. Like, I didn't expect it to be where it's at now. I just figured I was gonna sit around and bullshit and see what happens.
Yeah.
But we're kind of going somewhere.
But it just feels so natural. It's just like the ebb and flow.
Yeah.
It's just like with me moving. I didn't expect to go fight for a title, lose, and still get an invitation to go move. He was like, man, we cleaned the bedroom out. I made one phone call to the U-Haul. They said, okay, we got you on this date. All I got to do is throw a couple of my things in a bin and go. It's like effortless.
Nice.
Like I don't even have to put that much like thought into it. You know what I mean? I think that's God's will for us. Is when things
Absolutely.
are effortless, it's just like when things are just right there. It's like I don't see nothing else.
Yeah.
Like, go.
I think when you have your plan, like I have my ultimate goal, you know what I
Yeah.
mean, and like I try to speak it into existence every day,
Yep.
and I think that the life force that I look at as like a power greater than myself.
Sure.
I think I think God is a woman. To be honest with you,
Nice.
because another man
Does
is
she have a
not.
big butt?
I hope so.
I
I figure it's another woman because it shows passion. It shows love and compassion, right?
Ooh, I like that.
So to me, that's a woman, right?
Uh-huh.
And like, I think so. I think God is a female. If I have to define that, right? I don't know. I'm probably pissed.
I mean, if I go get a therapist, I'm getting a female.
Yeah,
If I want a God, that's a good point.
And
Why is it my higher power?
yeah, I mean, whatever. Right? We'll probably piss somebody off. I'm sure somebody's offended by that.
That's right. It's your higher power.
Yeah, right?
It's not a
That's what I
doorknob.
believe. I don't care if anybody else believes it, right? So, and I think like for me, like it's when I say like this is what I want to do, because like even with this, right? I've been like this is where I want to go.
Sure.
And like we were talking about before even doing this with how I'm going to start doing the video calls.
Yeah.
Like shit just kind of presents itself in a way that's like, all right, like I guess I have to do it this way.
Here it is.
You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
like it becomes easier to go that direction. So like
Yeah.
I believe that. I think
It's like when you want. It's like I want this, but it's like man, I gotta do this and I gotta do that and I gotta jump through this and I gotta jump through that and it's like, it's almost like maybe it's not meant to be. But it's like, but you look over.
we gotta
there,
work
it's
for
like,
it. You know, you gotta work for it.
There's
Like
a
that's
fine line. There's
the
a
that's
fine
the thing.
line, man.
Like even
There's such a
with
fine line.
even with doing this, man, I've had a lot of people try to like want to come aboard on this.
Yeah.
And it's like, but it's patience and it's consistency and it's like. There's gonna be days where we don't want to do it, but we
Right.
have to,
Yeah.
and like, you know what I mean. And like, I'm by no means am I successful. I haven't made a dime off of this. I'm like about 12,000 in debt, right? All this shit. I'm like 12,000 in debt. Like I'm not making money off of it. Hopefully one day, right? Maybe I'll get a sponsor and like it can move forward and progress into a bigger thing. But like to explain that to somebody who just wants to be able to just sit in front of a camera and talk and like become the next whatever.
Right.
Like that's not real.
Yeah.
Like that's not gonna happen. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Maybe if we go viral, who knows?
Maybe. You gotta put forth some effort. God meets us
Yeah.
halfway.
Yeah, I need to get controversial.
You ever watch that Where the Red Fern Grows?
Yeah.
Where he chops the tree halfway down and the wind starts blowing?
Yeah.
I love that, man. That's so
Yeah.
huge for me.
Unfortunately, on this platform, you got to be controversial to go viral. But I do have a controversial episode coming.
Do you?
It's not this season, obviously, but
Okay.
it'll be. I got to guess it's going to be extremely controversial.
Oh,
so
nice.
yeah, it's going to be interesting.
Yeah.
I'm kind of nervous to do it myself, but
Right.
fuck it.
Right.
Worst case scenario, I'll put it out.
Let's get emotional.
Yeah.
It's a nightmare. So.
Yeah. All right, man. So I'm gonna wrap it up. We've been doing this for a minute. It's late. I'm starving. I'm tired.
Yeah.
Right.
Perfect.
So,
You got a Chipotle in Franklin yet?
God, I wish.
Dude. I should have brought you some.
Yeah.
All the way from the Ville.
We don't have none. We don't got shit around here.
Yeah.
We're lucky we got McDonald's.
Right?
Right.
And a Pizza Hut.
We do have that. We have a Domino's now.
Do you?
So like that's. I mean, I
Okay.
live off of that.
Yeah.
That's my shit.
Me too.
So, all right, man. So as always, you guys could have been anywhere in the world today. You sat here and chose to chop it up with us. I greatly appreciate you for listening. I hope that you learned something. I hope that you heard something that at the end of the day can help you stay sober today. It's not about anything other than that. If you can just stay sober today, tomorrow looks a little bit better, right? So put forth that effort today. If you feel like using today, you instead of calling the dope man, you should probably call somebody in your support group, call somebody who cares about you, and be honest with them. Tell them, I feel like getting high today, and talk out of it, right? Because at the end of the day, I promise you, if you just stick to this, life is so much better than what you're dealing with right now. And if you're struggling and suffering, there's tons of help out there, no matter what position you're in. So, you got anything you want to add?
814-795-3295. My line's always open, 24/7, 365. Give me a call, give me a text. anonymous, it don't matter. You don't even got to tell me who you are. Call me with your problems, and I'll listen. I'll try to help you as much as I can. Secrets die in the light.
Hit him with the old Mike Jones. Start shouting out the numbers.
That's funny.
Yeah. So, all right, man. So, as always, man, thank you. This will actually be the last episode of the season. With that, by all means, we're going to have another season coming up. We're going to do something a little different. Format's going to change. Some shit's about to change. We're going to do some things different. So, stay tuned. We've got some wild shit going to happen. Like I said, we got some controversial shit. We got some crazy shit. We got some good shit. Yeah, stick tuned. I appreciate it. Thank you.
Deuce.
Thank you for watching.